Hello, my name is Jana and I am Population and Households Manager at Euromonitor International. Today I would like to share with you findings on our recent consumer research. Every year, Euromonitor International identifies emerging and fast-moving global trends that are expected to gain traction in the year ahead. These trends provide insight into changing consumer values, exploring how consumer behavior is shifting. This year, we did a spin-off research asking more than 100 analysts from Eastern Europe to cast their votes and determine what trends will be significant in the region. So let's dig into the findings. First trend we spotted is the great life refresh. During pandemic, consumers took inventory of their lives. They paused to think about their values and priorities. They reconsidered what is important in their life and how to do the right thing in the right way. And as a result, we see shifts in consumer behaviors and lifestyles. Expenditure on leisure and recreation in Eastern Europe, for instance, grew by 16% in 2021, which is the most since 2009. We also see growing number of enrollments and growing corporate support for digital education. Google, for example, attributed more than 1.5 million euros as a grant to charitable organizations in Central and Eastern Europe to improve digital-enabled education. Finally, remote working practices become a new reality, as under the influence of Great Resignation, consumers are increasingly searching for better work-life balance. In fact, companies and even countries are picking up on the work from anywhere or workations trend. Croatia introduced a digital nomad visa for non-EU citizens working in communications and digital fields. By this step, country aims to boost its tourism industry and attract year-round visitors, and thus overcome the seasonality and ensure stable demand all year long. Second most important trend in Eastern Europe for 2022 is financial aficionados or smart management of finances. Financial security and jobs were severely threatened by the pandemic and now are threatened by the recessionary fears and political turmoil. Growing cost of living and inflation, of course, are also a big push towards spending more cautiously, investing to sustain the value of the hard-earned income, and while saving more for just-in-case situations. The latter, that is, total savings in Eastern Europe over the past 3 years, grew by more than 30%, almost twice as the global average. While Poland, Latvia, and Croatia saw the highest savings growth per capita regionally. But financial aficionados, it's not only about the cautiousness and retaining of the value. It's also about better, smarter, and more convenient money management, like frictionless banking services offered by the Latvian neobank Selflove. Self is operating through social media platforms like Facebook, Telegram, Viber, and is basically faceless. That has no app or physical card. This messenger bank used chatbot to provide financial services and is favored by such digital savvy generations as millennials and Gen Z. Rural urbanites trend is also among top 3 trends for Eastern Europeans, facilitated by the rise of remote working practices and strive to simplify one's life. Better air quality, more green space, and search for life simplicity in the countryside or smaller cities are becoming key selling points to relocate for urban dwellers. But on the other hand, consumers are also searching for green spaces and rural bliss in the urban surroundings. And as a result, for instance, we see gardening sales in Eastern Europe expanding by 44% over the past 3 years, which is, again, more than 4 times growth observed globally. Besides rural leisure activities, we also observe the rapid development in infrastructure, which extends the urban convenience to rural areas. The fact is that the consumers they are not ready to give up the urban amenities, so the catering to both urbans going rural and urbans replicating rural in the city or suburban surroundings is made possible by improving e-commerce and delivery network. And in 2021, e-commerce market in Eastern Europe grew by more than 24%. Well, and e-commerce is not functioning without efficient delivery, of course. To respond to growing demand for efficient delivery, parcel courier services company DPD decided to invest in additional automated parcel lockers in the Baltic countries. This enabled company DBD to reduce the delivery time, expand geographic coverage, and of course, serve clients better. Another trend which is voted important regionally is self-love seekers. It is important to know that self-happiness and health are the new priorities of post-pandemic consumers. This represents a big change in consumer priorities as they shift from saving or spending on others to spending on themselves. And as a result, we see the fierce growth in me-centered goods. The consumer expenditure on premium and health-related beauty personal care products, for instance, grew by double digits over the last 5 years. And the future for self-care products, as well as services, remains bright, especially in subsectors relating to health. Speaking about the services, for example, in Georgia, one of the largest balneological spa resorts, Sarme, in partnership with Evans Hospitals, have opened a post-COVID-19 health center. The center applies a multidisciplinary team who treats each patient with individual approach. This luxury service in luxury surroundings is just an example of growing importance and demand for personalized health approach. Finally, although less common than in Western Europe or North America, the pursuit of the pre-loved or secondary usage is growing in Eastern Europe, driven by sustainability trend. The economic instability and political uncertainty also reinforces the greater acceptance of second-hand as a discount option. It's becoming a new norm in Central European countries such as Poland, where 1 in 7 consumers, in particular young consumers aged up to 30 years old, are considering increasing purchases of second-hand items in the future. Well, and international players are also eyeing the region. thredup is one of the biggest online resale fashion platforms, covering thousands of brands from Gap to Gucci. In 2021, for instance, thredup expanded in Eastern Europe through acquisition of Remix, one of the top online stores for second-hand fashion in Bulgaria. Just to conclude, just to round it up, all 5 consumer trends in Eastern Europe are continuous and will persist and probably even intensify over the coming years. They are also quite different but evolve around 2 core topics. It's personal attention and sustainability. Consumers want safe, clean, and green environment, but they want to live sustainably also every day and feel that their decisions can make global impact. So, be it sustainable products, greener production processes, renting instead of owning, or sharing, recycling, companies need to include sustainability into their agenda and do it promptly. Another topic is personalization or consumer centricity. Companies are seen as partners helping consumers to adapt to a new way of life, whether it's help to overcome financial struggles or a way to better oneself through self-care. Connection and collaboration, those are the key. Simple, health-oriented, personalized, and sustainable offer is what Eastern European consumers are striving for.